I spent the early part of my career investigating people who had gotten themselves into trouble in universities. Highly educated, smart people who never imagined looking at a job or career-ending problem. Over time, I began to see patterns in how those problems developed and became more and more interested in what it would take to educate and prevent such problems. This developed into what I call the concept of career tragedies, with tragedies being an acronym representing some of the most common pitfalls. A lot of things that get people into trouble are things you don't know, particularly at the beginning of your career. We think putting some thought into understanding the career tragedies can help you identify, and we hope, avoid the problems they lead to. When you encounter some kind of problem, a difficult conversation, or a dilemma, one of the first things to do is figure out which parts of the problem you own, and that's where the tragedies start. T stands for temptation. You know what temptation feels like. It's something you really want. We're all tempted at times. We're all human. It's how we deal with the temptations, though, that define us. The R is for rationalization. It is always possible to rationalize any questionable thing you want to do. It's broken anyway. It's not very much. I'll put it back soon. Nobody will notice. Those are all rationalizations. If you find yourself rationalizing your behavior, and you know that feeling, that's a signal to you to step back and reflect. Then there's ambition. You really want the promotion, the bonus, the recognition, the paper. Whatever it is that you're aiming for. It's okay to be driven. Are you using your ambition as an excuse to rationalize dubious choices? What do you do when your values are in conflict with actions that would serve your ambition? The G stands for group and authority pressure. We all know what peer pressure feels like. Oh, come on, everyone else is doing it. Or an authority figure who directs you to cut a corner and you don't want to be seen as the difficult one. The boss told me to. You are still always responsible for your own actions. Entitlement is next. I worked so hard. I deserve this. I earned it. They owe me. Feeling entitled is always a red flag that you may be getting into trouble because we're not entitled to break the rules or cheat, no matter how much you think you deserve it. The D stands for deception. Sometimes the deception is of other people. Sometimes it's of yourself. Did you say something that intentionally misled another person? That's a pretty good clue that you just told a lie. Do you know what it feels like when you are deceiving yourself? Incrementalism is maybe the single thing that gets more early career folks into trouble than anything else. Incrementalism is when you take that first little step and there are no consequences. You do something then that's called normalizing deviance. I'm a good person. I did that. So must be something a good person would do. So you take another little step. Pretty soon you've gone someplace in a lot of little steps that you never would have gone in one big one. Embarrassment is important to think about and also gets a lot of people into trouble. Are you too embarrassed to admit a mistake, so you try to hide it? Are you able to own it if you don't know the answer? Being able to say, I'm sorry, or I made a mistake, or I don't know, could I find out and get back to you, are all critical success skills. Finally, the S stands for stupid systems. We all work in organizations that have stupid systems. These are policies that seem to make your job harder, or are just stupid. When do you work within them and when do you work around them? You must be able to recognize the boundaries between things that are stupid, yet you can work with, and choices that compromise your values or boundaries in ways that you're not willing to cross. A lot of the tragedies are things that you feel: temptation, rationalization, ambition. You feel the pressure from others. You feel entitled. Some of them are things you have to recognize that are external, like authority pressure or a stupid system. No matter where it comes from, you are responsible for your own conduct. Knowing the tragedies, recognizing when you're facing one, and protecting yourself against them is your job. No one owns your reputation but you.